Joining me first on the show is our big newsmaker, Derek O'Brien. He is Trinamool TMC MP and, of course, TMC Parliamentary Party leader. Mr. O'Brien, thank you so much for your time. Let me begin with you and ask you this specific question. What has Mamata Banerjee communicated to the Prime Minister?
I was not a party to that meeting, so I'm not one who will, unfortunately, yesterday the Home Minister was writing letters to the Chief Minister of Bengal, but before the letters came there, the news got leaked from here. So I'm not a party to the meeting between a Prime Minister and a Chief Minister. So how can I ask you the question? That is not our style. I can tell you that what the overall scenario is, but I'm not privy to either leak information or no information. So let's be very, very clear. What are the issues?
I understand that. We
want to
yes,
cooperate.
I want to understand what are the concerns of the state of West Bengal, and are you of the opinion that the lockdown should be extended or should end?
You see, this is not a pin the donkey game you play in school where you have to decide whether it's ending or not. Firstly, this government, you must remember, announced a 21-day lockdown with a 4-hour notice. One more question I need to ask. How many chief ministers were consulted before that first lockdown was announced? We know the answer. 0. Now at least we've got to the stage where the Prime Minister is talking to the chief ministers. Please understand that first lockdown was not, so it's ill-planned. It's completely ill-planned. And what is the most ill-planned of that is the migrant workers. Was the disaster management plan, Chapter 4, if you read Chapter 4 of the disaster management plan, it says very, very clearly that vulnerable groups like migrant workers have to be taken care of. Did we take care of them? Sorry, it was announced. Then you go to migrant workers. Article 21 of the Constitution. It's a constitutional right which was taken away from them. What have we done? Now leave that. Now the states have to be making their own decisions, because you mentioned Bihar, you mentioned a few. Different states have had their first cases at different times. Bengal had their first case on 17th of March. Jharkhand had their first case on 31st of March.
Yes.
Delhi had on March the 2nd. So it's very, very different. I'm afraid the planning has been disastrous. Let me put it to you. And unfortunately what is happening is the states have been put all the pressure on the states. And what kind of politics is being played? What kind of politics? In Bengal, we are saying leave the politics out. For heaven's sake, leave the politics out. And let's stick to this plan of overcoming the COVID challenge. But you're not listening. You didn't listen then. 1 minute. Let me just make one point about not listening. Throughout March, you didn't listen. When we asked you to consult the parliamentary committees on the 5th of March, you didn't listen. When we asked you to suspend parliament, you didn't listen. When Mamata Banerjee wrote to 18 chief ministers of different states for migrant workers, you didn't listen.
Mr. O'Brien.
Tell me.
Mr. O'Brien, now that the country has entered in the 3rd phase of lockdown is coming to an end, it's over 48 days of lockdown already. Can we expect the state of Bengal and the centre to work in cooperation, because the cases are continuing to rise in Bengal? The question now is that can politics be played over pandemic?
Good. I think that's a
because consultation is happening now.
Ms. Shakil, that's what is happening now?
Consultation is happening. I mean, this is the 5th round of video conference that the Prime Minister is doing with the chief ministers.
You see, you have to believe that whether the cooperation is happening or not. You can't call this, we want to cooperate, but when you send your ministerial team, it arrives in Calcutta at 10 a.m. and at 1 p.m., 3 hours later, you call up the chief minister. Is that cooperation? You write a letter to the chief minister. Before the email is opened by the chief minister here, you're leaking that to the media in Delhi. Is that cooperation? Let's get serious. Bengal is a sensitive state. It's on the borders. And you're saying Bengal, the numbers are going up. This is not some Ranji Trophy cricket match. You cannot be comparing states, because if you look at cases per 1 crore population, if you look at the 12 states, Delhi, Maharashtra, Gujarat have 3,000, 1,800, 1,300. Bengal, the number is 200 if you take the number of cases per 1 crore population. You look at testing, Bengal is doing much better than so many states. But yet, you will send the doctors to Gujarat and you will send the ministerial teams to Bengal. Stop doing the politics, please. I'm requesting the Home Minister. I'm requesting the Prime Minister. Please change your style. Please change your style. We want to fight.
Mr. O'Brien, teams have been sent to other states as well. There was a team that was led by Love Agarwal that was sent to Maharashtra. Dr. Guleria and others went to Ahmedabad, understanding fully well that the cases are rising in these particular states, in Mumbai and also in Ahmedabad. Why should politics be seen here?
There is no, if you're saying there is no politics to be seen, then let me give you a simple example. Let me give you a simple example. In Kalimpong and Jalpaiguri in Bengal, in those districts for 1 month, almost 1 month, 28 days, there was no COVID case. Right? There was absolutely no COVID case. Then why did you go and declare it a red district? People can make out. People know. It's quite blatant. I want to simply ask the Home Minister of this country, why? You're saying not to play politics. Why are you leaking these letters out? What is the reason for leaking these letters out? Tell me. What is the reason for sending faulty testing kits to Bengal? You tell me. What is the reason to say to have these these teams which are going there at not even 3 hours notice? The plain
now,
language.
what next?
What is this?
Mr. O'Brien, what next?
Politics.
What next? Because a number of states have been demanding fiscal support, some kind of stimulus package. What are the demands that have been made by the West Bengal government?
Very good. Very, very good.
What are the demands that have been made by the Bengal government?
I'll come to all the demands of the West Bengal government. Firstly, West Bengal government, like all the governments, 36,000 plus 36 plus 25, 61,000 crores we are owed. That 61,000 crores, we need that money to be sent to the state. If you cannot send all 61 here, at least send 36,000 crores here. Number two, where is the GST announcement? Where is the GST? Every time the finance minister would say, early in the month, first or second. These are the GST figures. Where are the GST figures? We know. Why today, round about the 11th of May, why haven't the government announced the GST figures as yet? I'll tell you why. Because if they announce the GST figures, that will be another demand for the state. So please, this is India, that is Bharat, which is a union of states. Listen, let's only understand just one point. You can't only have it your way. When something is going well, you've gone and announced lockdown, you haven't discussed, now you say center. Now when the state says something, state is doing politics. No, when a former BJP MP, who is now living in the largest bungalow in Bengal, with a constitutional post, he's a former BJP MP, if he becomes a spokesperson for the party, then what happens to the BJP party? So I am still requesting the Home Minister, Prime Minister, you cannot be speaking in one. You cannot be speaking in one language, and you cannot be acting in one other language. Have you seen?
Okay. Last question.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Last question to you, sir. Because the lockdown is coming to an end, 17th is the day. The conference with the chief ministers is going on. Are you of the opinion that the decision of zoning of, based on the districts should be left on the states?
You see, with all humility, we can't have joint secretaries or bureaucrats nominated by this government who are bureaucrats. We've got nothing against the bureaucrats. But the semicolon, if they start talking to chief ministers about semicolons and full stops, it becomes a big problem. Please, if you look at the way these systems, be it the ministries which are tweeting out stuff, look how the railway minister has done. The railway minister, what have they done? What kind of logic is this? Has anyone asked why these Rajdhani fairs? Why these Rajdhani fairs? What is special about these air-conditioned trains? Are there no regular coaches to go? So there are these, listen, it has been unplanned. That is the bottom line. Now you want to use this agency, agency, this agency will not be, and you said 17th is a lockdown. The lockdown will be lifted. There is no such thing. I think each state, please understand, these are different stages. There are some states like Delhi, Rajasthan, Telangana, UP, their first case was in March 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. There are some states which have had it at the end of March. Epidemiologists, experts, They themselves are saying you cannot compare because you are in different stages of the epidemic. The only thing now that the Home Minister has risen from his slumber after 45 days, I'll request him, what he did yesterday was completely uncalled for. Never mind he did it yesterday, released that letter of, and did all that. Now let's stay focused, because what is it? Challenge. And what is the challenge? Bring those immigrant workers back. Second challenge, provide the economic package.
Okay.
But 1 minute. And right at the top, above all these challenges, is through physical distancing and through proper teamwork in the truest sense of the term to overcome the COVID challenge. This is what is at hand. Bengal
Thank you so much.
Bengal and Mamta Banerjee, Ms. Shakil, if I may say one line, Bengal and Mamta Banerjee are not at all arrogant. We are transparent. We are thorough. We don't want to do any politics. But then you can't have it bread on one side and jam on the other. That we will not allow.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. You can have the bread and the jam as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Derek O'Brien.